Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Infinite Series All-Father Wave. We're having a look at All-Father himself, Odin. Over the course of, what, 7 videos, Spot's been putting together Odin, and now we have a completed piece. As mentioned in the Scarlet Witch video, I did a little mixing and matching of my own, because Odin did come with 2 alternate heads. This one kind of looks more like a sea-bearing pirate. This one looks more like a Norse god. But you can see the differences between the two, and this really should have been something that they could have done with the like the Green Goblin wave, which was that Spider-Man wave, because like half the wave we got later, and then when those figures came out, it was the same figure pieces as what we got before. They also did that with the Captain America Mandroid wave. It was just essentially the same pieces. What they should have done was something what they did here, that if you got the same figure pieces, they could have been slightly different from one another. So getting, you know, Captain Marvel and getting Scarlet Witch, you weren't fated to have 2 of the exact same, you know, All-Father head. You had some choices. The other choice, too, that came was the cape. The cape was blue. I'm just reaching off to the side here. The cape was blue that came included with Scarlet Witch, which was the same cape that came with this Odin All-Father head. But I ultimately just went with the red. I kind of think just going with the Thor theme, I think the red worked better. You could go with the blue, you could do whatever you want, but I just ended up going with red. The other thing, which was kind of interesting, was that Sentry and Machine Man came with arms. Now, the arms, as opposed to being the exact same pieces, one arm was the same. This arm right here. This other arm here was armored. It has armor plates on it, whereas the pieces that came with Sentry were completely just bare. I again went with this one, but you could have these two if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter. Now, Odin comes with a couple of accessories. Over the course of the videos, we found that he came with an axe. So you can take that and put it into his hand. Just slide it down into his hand there like that. Whoops, there goes his cape. Or what you can also do too, I find his cape's a little more problematic to get on because the socket, the little hole that it clips into, is further down his torso than what you actually think it's going to be. You almost feel like it's going to be pegged further up, and it actually is not the case. He also came with this, which was the inclusion with Scarlet Witch. A nice, big, bulky staff, like, it almost looks like a trident. I don't know if you would still consider it a trident, but he came with this as well. And Spot also decided that I was going to give him the sword. You could give it to Thor, but I might just end up giving it to Odin. But in the meantime, I'm going to display him with the axe. That sounds good. I just wish the cape, oh, this blasted cape, does not peg into place very well at all. It sits in there, but it doesn't sit as securely as, say, the likes of Sentry's cape plugged into place. Paint on him is nice. He's got that... It looks a little messy, to be honest. The extra wash that they put on the silver torso, as well as the arms. The arms pull it off a little bit better. The torso does look a little messy, like they just slopped extra paint on top of it. He's still got that continues over to his legs. But yeah, he's a good-looking figure. For one reason or another, I don't know why, but, oh, that might be the reason why. I was going to say, you can see his visible hole, but I guess it's because there we go. The cape actually pushed this off. I'm going to maybe eventually just glue that cape into place and just call it a day. I do really like this face, though. The horns, the beard, I love how the beard is fastened down there, a little elastic or string, I guess, connecting the beard together at the bottom there. It's a really nice piece. But yeah, you can see this cape does not want to stay in. You know what? Let's try the blue cape. Let's see if we fare a little bit better with the blue cape. It's probably going to be the exact same issue. Just does not want to peg into place. There we go. Let's try that. Actually, you know what? It's funny. Maybe the blue cape was a better suit for the head here. So I do like Odin. I think he turned out to be a really good figure. And comparing him to the likes of Thor that we've already reviewed, it looks like they share similar arms. It almost looks like they share the similar legs as well, at least from the calf down. Same similar feet. They're roughly about the same height as well. Odin could have been a little bit taller, but I'm not going to complain too much about that. I would prefer at least a Build-A-Figure of All-Father versus none at all, because they have to save costs. And whatever feelings you have about cost-saving measures by toy companies, at least at the end of the day, we still get an Odin. When it comes to his articulation, his head is on a ball joint, as you saw when we were putting him together. Shoulders, ball hinge sockets there, and just be careful when you move in the arms that these plates don't come off his shoulders. But he does swivel at the bicep area there. He has a bend at the elbow, but because his arms are so big, you're not going to be able to bend them very well. Still rotates at the forearm, a hinge and pivot in the wrists as well. There goes that cape again. He does have a upper ball joint in the torso, and then the legs go forward, back, out, swivel at the thigh, a bend at the knee, and actually it looks like, yeah, there's that double bend at the knee and a pivot in the foot. Like the figure, don't like the cape. And I might just say, you know what? Glue it is. I might just glue that cape right into place and call it a day. Especially for the sense of displaying him. Displaying him, I don't want things like capes to be a problem. Capes should not be a problem. They may help you fly, but they should not be a problem. Odin is a great looking figure, depending on which way you want to design him and which way you want to display him with, whether you want this head or this head. Either way, it's still a great looking figure. Odin, I'm going to give him an 8.5. So there you have the Build-A-Figure for this series. I'm going to put him right there. And as Spot normally does, I don't normally clean off the backdrop like that, but what we normally do here, though, is we're going to have a look at the figures that came in the set, and I'll tell you guys the ones that I liked the most. Initially, I said, Machine Man was probably my favorite, but I think now my favorite probably is Scarlet Witch. Very clean, very cool looking figure, and obviously if you're a fan of Avengers, you're probably going to want to add her. Probably next in line, I know I initially said Machine Man, but probably next in line would be this guy right here, and that would be Sentry. And then after that, probably my favorite would be then this guy right here, Machine Man. Like the Thor, wasn't crazy about his face though. Captain Marvel was a good, solid figure, and rounding out, I did like. Actually, I can't remember his name now, the other character. But these are probably my three favorite from this line. Scarlet Witch, for me, if you can find her, she might be even the hardest of the figures to find. Definitely, if you can get your hand on her, I would say grab the Scarlet Witch. Then get Sentry, and if you have a soft spot, I would say get Machine Man. Other than him being a little wonky loose, he turned out actually really decent. So there you go, guys. Today's Toy Spot, we were finishing up our reviews of the Marvel Legends Infinite series All-Father Wave, and today we're having a look, of course, at All-Father. Thanks for watching, certainly as you always do. And certainly stay tuned as well if we can get him to properly stand. He's not going to stand. It's that stupid cape. Anyways, there we go. Certainly stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos, of course, heading your way. Thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you guys next time.